Look at the pretty gravel in here. Super nice. It's looking good in here. Took half moon day off. And that didn't seem like enough. Then I ended up taking yesterday off too, man. I was beat. I did take a huge load of trash to the dump, so that was awesome. But then I came back, I just had no motivation. I was still, man, my body was still tired. I've been doing this 100% fruit and veggie diet for about today's the 4th day. I feel like my body's been kind of cleansing and feeling great. I did get up to motivation this morning. Here's the garage shelter over here. This way back in the woods over here, I dug me a couple of post holes here. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple posts to throw in these two. This is gonna be the back right here, so all the sound just kind of goes out that way towards basically nothing. There's houses and stuff over that way, and I'd hate for my generator to just be echoing through that big huge valley down there, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna have the back, the muffler facing that way, the front facing that way, and we'll be able to run our cords to the shop over here and a cord to the garage over here so we could work. This one's gonna be a little bit bigger than the other one. All right, I spotted this oak tree right here. That seems like a decent size for some posts. And I see we got a hanger branch up in the top here. Hopefully that ain't gonna fall and hit me. But we're about to take out this oak tree right here, get hopefully two 8-foot posts out of that. And we got another one over here, closer to the cabin right there. That's 2 oak trees, and I'm gonna take out that smallest one. It's leaning backwards. I mean, I knew it was leaning that way, but I was hoping I could push it that way. Goodness. At least get my saw out of here. Yep, it's gonna go back that way. I thought for sure I'd be able to push it if I took a big enough chunk out, but I guess not. All right, that's the mess I ended up with. It's okay. Once I measure, I guess, my 8-foot, that ought to fall, and then I'll be able to cut my other 8-foot. That's the hanger branch I was talking about that was over my head. And look, it's right in between those limbs on those 2 trees, literally holding it up. 2 8-foot posts. Now we got to get them all the way back to the back of the property. We got both our posts in the ground here. And one thing I wanted to make sure of is that I have 6 foot in between these, which I have quite a bit more than 6 foot. 6 foot's here. That's good. I just got to try to get the fronts about the same. The reason I wanted this one 2 foot wider, one is the horse mat I put in the 4x4. I cut off about 13 inches of it to make it fit in there. When I buy the 4x6 horse mat this time, I want to make sure it just rolls out and works, fits in here. Another reason is the 10,000 watt generator is quite a bit bigger than the 5,000. Also, I could possibly fit both generators in here. The big one, the 10,000 watt, and the 5,000 watt that I'm planning on fixing eventually. I have them, so I think I could fit both of them in. Be up off the ground when I'm working on them, get them out of my way of the storage. So that's my reasoning. I'm going 2 foot wider than the one in the front. These are a little taller because we want the front a little taller than the back. Oh yeah. Now we gotta fill these in, get them level up and down. We'll be framing. We just did our face cut on our way to having some 2x to frame up with. This is the same tree I dropped quite a long while ago. I milled all of this for the cabin foundation. This one's been laying here for months, so figured this is the best one for the generator shed. It still looks pretty good. We got 2 nice 16 footers so far. I was getting real low to the ground over here. Propped it up on this chopping block that I left here. Make my last board a little easier. We should get one more out of it, and I'm thinking that should be plenty to frame this up. I actually went a little thinner than usual. I don't know if you could tell a big difference by looking. That one's 2 inches, perfectly 2 inches. This one is about, I think that's about 1 5/8 inches, like 1/8 more than 1.5 inches. So usually I mill them at 2, but I mean, this is just a little generator shed. And I knew if I set it at 2 inches, I would only get 2 out of this. I took a little off, that way I could get 3 out of this, and that should still be plenty strong. I mean, that's about how thick they are when you buy them from Lowe's anyway. Feel like we did pretty good today. Got 3 16 footers milled. What was that? Got our, dang, I hope that wasn't a weld breaking on my little new pot. Having a pot directly over that hot fire right there. I heard a pop. I'm glad the glass didn't break or anything. We working on some veggies again. Steaming some veggies. Got our shower water heated up. We got the boards milled, 3 boards milled. I'm pretty sure that's enough to frame up the whole foundation. We got our 4 posts in the ground, ready to frame up. So I feel like we did pretty good today. I'm gonna relax tonight. Steam me some food, take me a shower, probably watch me some videos, and then first thing in the morning, we're gonna be back at it. Dang, boy. Got the wood piled up now, boy. Real nice fire.
If your answers don't match up at every point, you
processed some boards this morning. Cut them to the length we need, or I mean approximately. We're gonna have to trim them. We got our straight edges cut, laid them out here. Now we're gonna start framing this thing up. Measuring much, I'm just gonna go off this level and make it level. As long as I can fit like a gas can under here and stuff, it's perfect for me. There we go. That is pretty level. There's plenty of room for a gas can. Good height off the ground. Still pull start if you need to. That's what's up. That's what we're going with there. Getting it in. First thing in the morning, we're getting it in. Go ahead and try to do this side over here first. Get it level. Top there. I'm only using like one screw in each. I'm gonna come back with some nails and really make this solid. There's two. Now we'll do that side, then we'll work on the back. Trim that how we need it. It is a very, very nice morning. Not cold at all. Chilly enough to wear some coveralls. But I'm mostly wearing them just to keep the sawdust off my clothes. Go, we almost perfect. Almost perfect is pretty perfect. All right, that's 3. Guesstimate on that one. Pretty good guess. That actually came out perfect. It framed up on the outside. Now I need 2 or 3 cross members inside. So I'm gonna go over to the 16 footer. See how many I can get out of that thing. Got one 16 footer left. These are gonna be about 5 and a 5, 1.5. 5'1.5". So we're pretty square. 5'1.5". Wow, we did pretty good there. That's actually pretty square. We got 3 out of that one 16-foot board. You can tell a couple of them, I laid them up here just to see how much length I have to play with, and it is not much. So when I do my straight cuts, I just have to barely take some off. We got this one cut. Let's see how good this fits. Yeah, that's pretty good. Trying to cut them where they fit in pretty snug. Oh yeah, it's holding itself up. This thing is huge. This thing is super big. You could definitely fit both generators in here with no problem, and probably store other stuff in here too. This is amazing. This is a legit generator shed. This one we're gonna go about 5/8, 61, 5/8. I might actually add a 16th. And that's real close because that one was 61 and 5/8. So, but this one, I'm gonna add a 16th to it. 61. All right, man, this is exciting. That's dang near perfect. When you do perfect cuts like that, you don't even need a helper. Well, now I just got to throw a bunch of nails in this thing, and then we got to mill some top boards, because I don't have any top boards. I do have a couple logs sitting over here, so I'm gonna have to mill those today. I'm gonna go ahead and drill a bunch of pallet holes for some nails. We're gonna make sure this thing is real solid. I guess I'm just gonna add like, I don't know, probably just one nail, I guess, to every one for now. These are GRK. They are framing screws. They're actually made for this. They're 4 inches. But the thing about screws is they can snap in half. They can break right off. Even when I'm screwing them in, sometimes they break. When you have 2 or more holding stuff in place, they are very strong. These, when you're using nails like these are huge 4-inch nails. Jake Sales is where they came from. 4-inch bright common framing nail. These will never snap or break. No matter what you put it through, it'll never break. So that's why I like when I'm framing up, especially a deck, it's good to use at least one to, that way if one of these screws do snap, you have that very strong nail in there that'll never break. So that's why I like to, I'd hate to go overboard with nails on this. It's just a generator deck, but I'm at least putting one nail in between all of these screws. I like to drill holes for them too. They're so big. You're taking a big chance of splitting your wood. So I really like to drill my pilot holes for them. There is a trick where when you're using a nail, you hammer the tip down, that way it cuts the grain instead of splitting it. But a pilot hole is much better. A little more time consuming, but it is what it is. There we go. See, that'll never break. So I'm using one nail in between every 2 screws just to make sure this thing is super solid. Even though it's just a generator, the generator's still a lot of weight and a lot of vibration. So it's good to be safe than sorry. That looks super nice. All nailed and screwed. Man, this turned out a lot bigger than I was expecting for sure. Pretty awesome. Amongst all this stuff over here, fallen widowmaker branches and straight edges I've cut off. Probably need to cut this up and turn it into firewood. That'll burn really nice. We got these 2 logs sitting here. I might be able to get all the boards I need out of that. I'm not sure. If we can't, then we'll use this one. I want to use this one first because it's a lot straighter and wider. This one, it looks like it gets a little straighter once you get down in there and wider. These are long enough and they have plenty of wood in these to cover that foundation. Well, dang, I was gonna eat me a cantaloupe for breakfast and look, it's freaking like, dang, rotten. Yeah, that was a waste of money. Yeah, that'll work. Some grapes, orange, apple, and a pear. I milled 2 1-inch thick boards here. Oh yeah, nice and pretty. 2 8-foot boards, which equals 16. Usually every time I mill a 16-foot board, I let the saw sit and cool almost completely off. Figure we'll work on this, add these while we're letting the saw cool off. What I'm gonna do is cut this board pretty much in half, put one side around the log like this, and then the other half around the log like this, and then the board will meet back together as if it's still the same board. Oh man, well that happened. Very wet wood. Alright, that's our front there. I think I may still be able to use this. You might just have to push that crack together and then screw it down. So we're still going to cut our edge off. I think we are using that. that in place. We wanted to measure 3 inches around the tree. So that's gonna be my first mark, 3 inch, right there. 3 inch, right there. So that's where we want our cut to stop. So now, this is about how far our tree is out. Right there. About how far our tree sticks out there. So that's how we want our cut. We could literally just guess and just kind of freehand this if we wanted to. That would work fine. It always works for me. But we also have this guy here. It makes things a little more accurate. I'm gonna push this in around the tree. This is only going 2.5. It ain't going all the way to 3. So I pretty much have to eyeball it here on that back line. I know I want it out 3, so I'm putting it on this back line there. I'm matching it up with these 2 notches that go around the tree. And we know it goes pretty much like that. There we go. Do the same thing over here. Tree goes up there. Tree goes up there. And 3 inches. And sit. Mark my 3 mark there. Line it up with them. All right. We know where our tree outside goes, so we definitely want to cut all that black off. Cut all the black line off, and you should have a nice fit with a little tiny bit extra. Go. That should fit very nice. Now we do the other one. As you can see, this wet wood fits. Perfect, pretty much. Here we go. Got a little hanging off in the front here. That's okay. Guess you could back it off a little if you wanted to. Yeah, we're going all the way. That'll just kind of stick out. Get that hammered up tight. First board. Now we got to do this one the same way as we did this one, but we got to measure from here back to see how far we need to cut in. But the same exact thing just on the other side. Slide that board up and you'll be wrapped around the tree. I hear my neighbor's dogs over there going nuts. All right, let's see how this fits here. Oh yeah, very nice. Even this crack here should close up. You got a piece right there in the way. Good. So not perfect. We got a little gap, a little crack. Ain't no problem either. It is what it is. The other side, it's got a little gap. I mean, my boards bowed a little bit. As you can see, there was a lot of pressure in it, which caused that to crack. So obviously there was a lot of tension in it. So it kind of bowed out a little. That's fine. Just little cracks we're not even worried about. Now we got to cut 2 straight edges on that one. We don't have to do anything else. Lay it down. That'll be our second board screwed down. I think that's actually like a pack of coyotes or something. I don't think that's the dogs over there. That neighbor is way over that way. So that's definitely not his dogs. Unless he's got them out hunting. That's a possibility. They might be hunting. We milled 2 more. Hopefully we might be able to finish this up with 1 more board. Looks like that one comes out pretty far. So I'm gonna cut off the least amount of possible on these. Hopefully 1 more do it. Here's the log here. We could still get 2 or 3 more out of it. Hopefully that's wide enough to finish it up. If not, then we'll have to do 2 more cuts. But we getting it in. This thing is looking awesome. I went ahead and did around my poles with one of the boards. I'm gonna put the second one right here. And as you can see, I don't think 1 board's gonna do it, because it looks like this is the widest board, and that's 1 foot. So that's the widest board on here, I do believe. Well, that's wider. But anyway, as you can see, that's 1 foot. The next board probably won't be 1 foot wide. So 1 foot, that's gonna leave a couple inches. Dang it. So I'm definitely gonna need 2 more to finish this up. And this is the leftover here. We working with, yeah, see, once we cut the edges off, it'll be definitely less than 1 foot wide. So I'm gonna need 2 more. Let me show you an example of how our Heavenly Father supplies you with just what you need. We got a wide board, which we need in there, and then we're gonna need a thinner one for the other little gap. Look at that. So that log, that's the last little piece of the log there, the face cut. But I milled those 3 boards out of it for the fence, finished up the fence, and then a perfect amount came out to finish this generator platform. How about that? And I think he supplied me with just enough energy today to finish cutting them 2 boards, do some straight edges, put them down, and pick my tools up, put them away. So I think he gave me just the right amount of energy to get this platform done today. And that's it, because I'm dragging butt. To be honest, I don't even want to do these cuts and finish it, but I'm gonna force myself to. Whew. Almost, but not quite. You can see once I cut these edges off, it's gonna be pretty thin. So this last thin, skinnier board is definitely gonna finish it up. And I changed my mind. I'm actually so tired. I'm not doing any more today. And I was thinking anyway, I could force myself to finish it, but I'd really like to end this with a big old 10,000 watt generator sitting up on that thing. So I think we're gonna continue this in the morning. I think it's about time to start me a nice warm fire, relax, and steam me up some more veggies, because I'm still in it. Day number 5. This morning we got that board cut and screwed down. Now we got this one last board, and to make this fit as good as possible here, grab my marker. We're gonna have to get under here and mark it. Oh man, I should have my coveralls on, really. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put my coveralls on for this, but I'm gonna go under here and trace these other 2 boards. Pretty much trace it all the way across so I can get the closest fit possible under here. So keep my dang clothes somewhat dry. Let's get it in. It's really pretty nice. Sun's out. It's a real nice morning. A little bit, tiny bit chilly, but not much. It's definitely hoodie weather. But yeah, throw these coveralls on for a minute while I trace this board. All right, so this last board, just to get it as close as possible, we're just gonna trace these other boards. That way, when we do our cut, it should drop right in the middle of these boards. Just like that. We'll keep going down here. We should have a very accurate fit. Just like that. Oh yeah. Last board of the foundation. I love it. Oh yeah. Now when we flip this over here, voila, we got our lines to cut. Last board, that was a nice fit too. Nice and close fit. Look at this. We got us a nice generator foundation out of our trees on the land. How about that? This is gonna be the fun part. All right, not bad so far. Oh yeah, not bad. Oh yeah. That was actually easier than I was expecting. That did the trick there. I didn't want one of those fail videos, so I screwed these things down. Generator number 2. Cart. Oh God, that caught my knee. Oh shoot. The other one caught my foot. The heel of my foot. That one just got my knee. Oh. There we go. There we go. And looks like a good height to start this one. And good height to work on this one. This one has an electric start, or eventually will. Plenty of room for 2 generators. So now when I'm running heavy power tools, we got this big guy. And then when we're just, you know, charging batteries and, you know, lights and stuff like that, we got the little one that uses about half as much gas as this big boy. I really need to take the blower, blow them out, clean them up a little bit. This one we're gonna get running very soon. I need a starter for it, but I think I have another way to start it. That's gonna be a different video, working on this and getting it running and powering. And then this one here needs a muffler. This one actually runs very well. It just needs the capacitor, or whatever you call it, the thing that basically runs the power. That needs to be replaced, and the muffler, but this is still a great generator. So we're gonna be working on both of them. We'll have both of them functional before too long. I'm very happy with this. Very solid foundation. The last generator shed, I built the whole thing in one video. I had all the wood that I needed laying around to actually build the foundation and the roof, and we even added walls. Well, that was the second video, but where I'm going with this is I do not have wood ready, prepared, or laying around to build the roof yet. I'm gonna have to mill the wood to build this roof. So that's gonna be a total different video doing the roof. I gotta mill the boards to frame it up. I gotta mill the top boards, and I have to buy the metal, which is gonna be about $100. And I'm gonna get the 4x6 horse mat to put in here to really dampen the sound on the bottom. We actually have snow coming, I believe. The weather's calling for like 7 inches of snow in a few days. I'm gonna have to get a tarp all of this and keep it dry until we get the roof straight. Thanks for watching. Took me about 3 days, I think, pretty much 3 days, just to get these poles up and foundation built. I had to do a lot of milling to build this, so I'm not sure what's coming next. I have a few other ideas. I definitely want to light up the garage. I have a battery charged for that. Now that we are about to have a generator running, I can hook up a battery, and I have a little maintainer that'll charge the battery for now, just enough to run some lights. That's gonna be amazing to have this place lit up. It's gonna be amazing when I get this running. We can start doing some woodwork over here in the garage. So we definitely have some new ideas and some new plans, goals coming up very soon. I got to get motivated, figure out what tree I'm going to use to frame up this roof. And we got plenty of them out here. I'm actually looking at one right here that I might actually use. It's only about like that. It's a pine tree. I think that would be a nice size to frame up the roof. And it's 20 foot away. So I think that's gonna work. Another plan, another goal. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all your support. Love you. See y'all in the next one. Woo, buddy.